This is Emerald's podcast project for EDM310 Spring 2012. The group consists of Katrina Williams, Emily Russell, Jessica Scarpa, and myself, Jay Shiver. We're discussing The Freedom Riders by the Freedom Riders with Aaron Gruhl.
The Freedom Riders' Diary is a book based off the diary entries written by 150 students of Long Beach, California. They were instructed by a first-year English teacher named Aaron Gruhl, or Miss G as they called her. Although the book was filled with multiple heartfelt stories, controversy also came of it. There were complaints of the book being too raw or too explicit, as some would say. But the Freedom Riders felt that if their story was going to be told, nothing would be held back. Many hardships had overshadowed these students, from things such as violence, abuse, and death, which a lot of us have never had to worry about on a daily basis. As this book launched, it quickly rose to success, with a movie following and a documentary in the making. The Freedom Riders became a family to each other that many of the students longed to have.
In the foreword of the Freedom Riders' Diary, Zlata Filipovic, author of Zlata's Diary, A Child's Life in Sarajevo, describes her experience with Aaron Gruhl and her students. She started her diary before the Bosnian War, but as the situation in Bosnia grew worse, it became a way to vent her fear, frustration, and sadness, and was eventually published. She draws parallels between herself and the Freedom Riders, how they've suffered due to things beyond their control: war, skin color, religion, and domestic violence. They all felt scared of their situation, but instead of sitting back and letting themselves be victimized, they fought back, Zlata through the publication of her diary, and the Freedom Riders through writing about their own experiences and choosing to make a difference in their own ways. And they were able to accomplish this thanks to their teacher, Aaron Gruhl. She acted as both friend and mentor to her students, dedicating much of her time to helping them and inspiring confidence in them to be more than what the disbelievers had to say. If teachers everywhere could do the same, had the same tenacity and faith in their students as Mrs. Gruhl, the future would be something to look forward to. Zlata inspired the Freedom Riders, who found a way to fight their terrible situations with something other than more hate and racism. Changing the way we deal with evil can inspire others to do the same, to fight evil in a way that won't harm but help and continue to inspire others.
In sophomore year of fall 1995, Ms. Gruhl is an English teacher at Wilson High School. She was faced with a tough decision at the end of 1994-1995 school year. She had to choose to stay at Wilson High or move to another school. She decided to stay and be there for her students. Ms. Gruhl has a class full of students who are involved with gangs, drugs, and drinking. Ms. Gruhl decided to pick books for her class that the students could relate to. The two books that she chose were Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, and Zlata's Diary, A Child's Life in Sarajevo. Throughout this chapter, there are many diary entries by Ms. Gruhl's students. The entries show what kind of students are in Ms. Gruhl's class. The majority of the entries are about a student in a tough situation, and it normally reveals them making the right decision. Ms. Gruhl is a positive influence on her class, and it is shown throughout this chapter. Because of the types of students that were in her class, she adjusted the way the classroom was taught, and she became a very important person in the lives of her students.
In 1997, Aaron Gruhl and all 150 of the Freedom Riders joined hands and walked down the same path Dr. King took when he gave his I Have a Dream speech. And afterwards, Aaron Gruhl became a college teacher to teach other teachers how to accomplish the things she did with the Freedom Riders. And the Freedom Riders went on to their own colleges to live their own lives without Room 203. And that's it.
Aaron Gruhl has much to be proud of. She not only managed her personal life with the one of her career, but she merged the two in a graceful way, never being selfish and always coming through with her promises. Making promises can sometimes put us in a bind, but when you're focused and there's a purpose for whatever it is you're doing, nothing can stop you. Ms. G spoke of her students as if they were her kids, and through everything she had done for them, there isn't any doubt in my mind that she did not see them as hers. Passion screamed throughout this book, and a legacy was born through the Freedom Riders. A foundation that provided scholarships for students similar to them was created so the students today may see that once there was someone who decided to speak of their pain to soothe another. Many of the students still revisit the pain from the past. Looking back on it helps them realize where they could have been and how the choices they made back in that classroom benefited their lives today. It wasn't as easy for some of the students to start college as it was for others, but they reminded themselves of the classroom and the teacher that believed in them, and it seemed to make everything okay. Today, these students live respectable lives and continue to change others. Ms. Gruhl founded the Freedom Riders Foundation, a nonprofit organization which funds scholarships and promotes innovative teaching.
And this concludes our EDM310 podcast.